wasn't one of these women that go try and drown their children. She did everything to make him his own little perfect boat, with the hopes that somebody else would be able to raise him safely because she knew she couldn't. Love that was willing to sacrifice, to give up. 1 Timothy 6:3-9, it says, if anyone teaches otherwise and does not consent to wholesome words, even the words of our Lord Jesus Christ, and to the doctrine which accords with godliness, he is proud, knowing nothing, but is obsessed with disputes and arguments over words, from which come envy, strife, reveling, evil suspicions, useless wranglings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth, who suppose that godliness is a means of gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. And having food and clothing, with these we shall be content. But those who desire to be rich fall into temptation as a snare, and into many foolish and harmful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. We use Proverbs 31 as the guidelines for a virtuous woman. And I'm not going to read all of it, it's a long chapter, but if you haven't read it, you should go read that. But verse 26-30 talks about motherhood. It says she opens her mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is the law of kindness. She watches over the ways of her household, and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many daughters have done well, but you excel them all. Charm is deceitful, and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. Today, we're honoring our mothers. I know I'm very grateful myself, as I mentioned, for the ladies that are here. They're my mom away from home. They're my grandmothers. They're my aunts. They're my sisters. They're family. They encourage me. They lift me up. They give me hugs when I need one. They check on my well-being when my parents can't. And I'm grateful. But they also set example for my own children. An example that seems to be leaving this world. But I hope and pray stays in the church. It sets an example for them what it means to be good women. Our daughters need that today. Because on television, they're getting nothing of the sort. On the internet, I promise you, they're not going to learn these lessons. But in God's house, they're still here. Proverbs 22:6 says, train up a child in the way they should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. You want to know how you do that successfully? You have good mothers. You have women that are devoted to godliness, devoted to the gift that they have in Jesus Christ, so much so that they want to pass it on to their children. They pursue this rather than wealth, power, station, houses, cars, football, basketball. They teach them what it means to be good, godly men and women. And that goes for our boys too. Women don't just train women, they train our boys too. And you look at the life of Timothy and you see how valuable that can be. My dad taught me a lot of great things growing up. It's one of the reasons I'm sure I'm a preacher today. But my mother taught me a lot of great things too. And that is also probably part of the reason I'm a preacher today. Ladies, I'm grateful for it, and I know that the rest of this congregation is, but I hope that you feel special today. Because the bad things we just talked about are not to point out towards you, I hope, but just the opposite, to show you what you're fighting against. We're counting on you to be the Christian godly women that God has called you to be. We're counting on you to lead our children and to raise them right, to teach them well. And for the job you're doing so far, we're thankful. If you're subject to an invitation, I know this isn't a sermon like that, but at the same time, we always want to give you the opportunity. If you're not a child of God right now, if you haven't been baptized and put Christ on, don't wait too long. One day it will be too late, and it might be today. At the same time, if you are a child of God, but you're struggling in your walk, you need prayers, you need some encouragement, let us do that for you. If you'd like to be baptized this morning, or you need church prayers, we invite you to come as we stand.